Holistic Edge Show. I'm Rita Rojas. I'll be the host of this daily 10-minute holistic reminders of how we can go back to our roots, how we can go back to our nature, and how we should be going and living according to our body, according to our mind, instead of going against them. This is our very first show, and I'm so happy that you are here. In this first episode, we are going to be talking about a very important distinguish between what holistic really is about and distinguish about what and how actually people use this word holistic, because there is not another word which is so misunderstood, so misused than the word of what actually the word holistic means. So that's what we are going to talk about today. Why would you need to know what holistic is about? Why would you need to apply that into your life? Why am I so passionate about sharing holistic principles, holistic tools with you? I have two very good reasons. One is quite personal, and I'm going to share my story with you. And the other one is coming from that story, knowing how much you can accomplish, knowing how much you can actually achieve, and how you can keep your body's health as well as your mental health intact if you go back to your roots, if you go back to the basics and start applying holistic principles into your life. And I'm very passionate about it, but I didn't always know what it was about. I wasn't always living holistically. Heck, I didn't even know what this word actually meant. A lot of people, a lot of organizations actually not knowing what this word means. And they are misusing it. They are spreading misinformation, and they are using it in such a wrong context that actually people might think that going holistic is something about going back to this woo-woo kind of age and, I don't know, singing kumbaya and just, rolling around the fire, which is not. It's not a hippie lifestyle. It's not something which is woo-woo. It is actually the most grounded, the most logical, the most common sense concept what you can ever learn and imply into your own life. And as a professional athlete, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Since you have all of this huge system helping you, you have doctors, you have physios, you have massage, you have everything what you need. Why would you actually consider this new kind of concept, this holistic concept, to incorporate it into your life? And let me tell you why. Because this is the only way you can ensure that you injury-proof your body. You can ensure that your mental health is going to be intact for a long term. And this is to help you recover faster, as well as to add more years to your career without compromising your physical and mental health. If there was a method like this, if there was a system like this, which helps you to get your body being injury proofed, if there was a system which would ensure faster recovery, if there was a system, there was a methodology which would actually help you to injury proof your body, to add years to your high performance career without compromising your physical or mental health, wouldn't you listen? I'm sure you would. And this concept is living holistically and going holistic. All right, so what the heck does this word actually mean? The word holistic means the whole you. And that is so groundbreaking, yet so simple to understand. If you understand that it is about the whole you, because you are not just a body. You are not just your mind or your thoughts, and you are not just the food what you eat. You are all of it. That is actually the true meaning of holistic. Holistic means the whole you. It's the integration of your body, your mind, and the support system being nutrition and what you feed your mind with about. That's all it is. It's a whole kind of system. It's a brand new approach of how you handle your daily life and how you actually approach injuries, how you approach recovery, how you approach the performance, what you need to keep. And the magic word is going holistic. There is no magic about it. It's actually quite grounded. It's quite biological. It is very well researched, and it's going back to ages. There is nothing new about it. However, Western world has just started to going back to its own principles, which is the whole kind of living, instead of using just elements, instead of having the symptoms and just treating symptoms, whatever would that be, injury by itself, recovery by itself, uh, performance by itself. You must see yourself. You must see your whole life and your career as a whole. And this whole kind of approach, this whole kind of system is a holistic system. This is what it means by going holistic. As I mentioned to you before, I didn't always know, and I definitely didn't always live holistically until it was actually 16 years ago. And let me share with you my story very quickly. 16 years ago, I was in a gym. I was working out in a treadmill, minding my own business, listening to music, and I was behind. I was facing the wall, and suddenly I heard this commotion behind my back, like it was a big thud. Then something just happened. When I turned back, I saw this elderly gentleman just lying on the floor, and his face, I will never forget that, and it was like 16 years now, went from this lively color to this waxy pale white. And I didn't know what was happening. So he was just lying there, turning to all white. Stuff was rushing in there, and they started to do CPR on him. Apparently, the gentleman had a heart attack or some kind of heart failure. And yeah, I couldn't do anything about it, so I just went home. And but because I was alone, my husband was working late, and I was alone. I couldn't talk. I'm a woman. I couldn't talk it out with anybody. So I was just doing in my own shock what I have just seen. You know, you could just see the life going out of him. It was terrible. It was an absolute shock to me to see. And 2 days later, something has happened. I have always been a healthy woman, thank goodness. So there was absolutely nothing wrong with me. But 2 days later, I saw this gentleman. He actually did not die on that gym floor. He died in the hospital, as later I found out from the staff. So later on, 2 days later, it was a lazy Sunday morning, and we were just having a very nice chilled breakfast, and my heart started to go berserk. It just started to beat all over the place, and it was going in haywire, and I absolutely didn't know what was going on. I thought I was having a heart attack, which freaked me out so much. Adrenaline rushed up so high. I thought I was going to die on that spot. But you know, the worst part was I was completely aware of what's going on. I was completely aware of, oh my God, I might die in this very young age, being completely healthy on that kitchen floor in that morning. A long story short, as it turned out, for a year and a half, I went to doctors, I went to the hospital, I had this heart monitor, and they said there was absolutely nothing wrong with me. And I didn't believe them because I felt there was something wrong with me. So this kind of my heart going berserk started to be almost like a daily event for me. I was dreading to wake up. I was dreading to go to work because I didn't know when it would start to beat all over the place again. And apparently, according to the doctors, I was completely healthy, which I knew I wasn't. The only So I started to look for alternative solutions because, if you are pronounced to be healthy and you feel you are not, you need to look for some kind of solutions as well. That's how I found kinesiology. Kinesiology is an excellent therapy, which I really, really liked, and I'm still liking it by myself. I became a kinesiology therapist myself and an instructor, so I can teach this stuff as well. And my therapist was the first who actually named what was happening to me as panic attacks caused by that kind of stress, what I saw this guy, just dying in front of me. I started to use kinesiology first as a client, then because I liked the results so much, for a year and a half, these episodes were almost in a daily occurrence. After we started to do kinesiology, after I went to my therapist, these kind of episodes started to be less and less and less, until I got to the point that I was 80% myself. Again, I was 80% healthy, and that 20% just couldn't shed from there, until I became a therapist myself. And when I started to learn for kinesiology, and this is the long story short, how I became acquainted with holistic methodology, or the term holistic, is on the very first day on the kinesiology school, on the very first lesson, there was a sentence which actually changed my life for the better and forever. And let me read this to you. Perceiving the body as a multidimensional holistic creation rather than as a complex machine makes holistic living an effective instrument in allowing people to explore and harmonize the dimensions. I'm going to explain these dimensions a little bit later. I didn't understand this sentence for a long, long time, even though it's easy to understand, until one day I got this light bulb moment when I really understood what perceiving the body as a multidimensional holistic creation. And that is the key word. That is what holistic is about. You cannot view your life as just one dimensional. You need to view yourself and your life in different dimensions. You're living in a physical body, governed by your thoughts, governed by your mind, supported by nutrition and good information. These are at least 3 different dimensions where you are living in simultaneously. And this kind of integrative living, this kind of collaboration between your body, mind, and nutrition is what holistic is about. I can talk to you about holistic living for hours and days, but for a daily, about 10-minute show to help you injury proof your body, to help you recover faster, to help you add years to your high performance career without compromising your health, is what this Holistic Edge show is about. So just to summarize to you the very first episode, what holistic is. Holistic is a multidimensional living, and it's a collaboration and integration between your body, mind, and nutrition for you to be your highest self, for you to live the healthiest, happiest, most meaningful life what you can get. And for that, you need to go holistic. So every day, I'm going to share with you these little kind of nuggets, these bite-sized nuggets, what you can just take it to your life. And I hope you are going to do that, because it changed my whole life. And it is just absolutely amazing. So tomorrow, I'm going to share with you why this concept, why holistic living, why going holistic is going to make your body injury proof. Thank you for being here. I am Rita Rózsás, and thank you for being here at the Holistic Edge Show. And I see you tomorrow at 1:30 over here in UK time. Bye.